WWE loses to AEW in a big way, plus a major WWE announcement. The wrestling world is heating up, and we're going to talk about it all right here on The Ango Show. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget we got a giveaway at 100,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, you probably should click subscribe today. We're giving away a World Championship replica belt from WWEshop.com, plus so much more. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about AEW Revolution. Obviously, we don't know the exact number of pay-per-view buys just yet. But in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that the early TV buys were up 26.2% from World's End from the same number of days after the show, while streaming numbers in the end with a 25% gain so far from World's End. International buys were closer to World's End, but it should be noted that prices overseas rose by 25%, so international revenue should be up. It's looking like the show will do about 171,000 to 175,000 worldwide buys, and that would actually be the fourth largest buy in AEW history. This is good news, but at the same time, too, I just have to remind you guys that AEW is adding a 9th pay-per-view for the year in April. Pay-per-view buys are going to always be around this number. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, everything is streaming now. I would like to see AEW get to the point where everything is streaming. That is still the plans from my understanding. But it is important that AEW does go the streaming route. Obviously, we got to wait till the new TV deal is announced, and I have a very strong feeling that TV deal is going to be an amazing announcement. Just in general, for wrestling fans, spending $50 on pay-per-view, it's not always the best, okay? It really isn't. Especially in America, we had issues with Bleacher Report, and there was issues with the pay-per-view now. Working on Bleacher Report, it got to the point where AEW had to use Fight TV. One question I want to ask you guys, though. This pay-per-view had Sting's retirement match. What is, for it to be the fourth biggest pay-per-view buy, what is AEW going to have to do differently to really get those numbers up? Because regardless if you think creative is good or bad, I think it's pretty well known at this stage of the game that AEW is kind of stuck in limbo. And, numbers are kind of just stagnant, right? It's not that they're going up significantly or going down significantly. It's just not much is really happening. And I think that really comes down to AEW has its audience and they're not really growing their audience. And that's that. With that being said, let me know what you guys think. I want to turn our attention to a major announcement by WWE. It was on SmackDown. They did announce a groundbreaking sponsorship. This is unbelievable stuff, but if you guys have followed me on YouTube for over a year now, then you know this has been a topic of discussion, not once, not twice, but multiple times. Logan Paul and KSI's company, Prime, strikes the deal to become the largest sponsorship deal in WWE history. Now, on SmackDown, Logan Paul revealed the Prime logo as on the center of the ring mat. And I spoke a little bit about this on my SmackDown review, but I don't feel like I emphasized enough of the points that I really wanted to make. And I kind of want to just talk to you guys about it here. Logan Paul has come into the WWE as a performer. He's also a hydration sponsor for the UFC, which, by the way, Prime is the first company that sponsors both TKO companies. Logan Paul, WWE contract. I don't know how WWE is going to do this from a technical standpoint, from like a logistical standpoint. Are they paying Logan Paul to be a wrestler? Are they paying Logan Paul for the sponsorship? Or is Logan Paul paying for the sponsorship and then WWE is paying Logan Paul to wrestle? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see how that information comes out. But this is the first time that a logo will be on the center of the ring mat. I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but ultimately, I've said this forever. I think you just got to capitalize on the money. You do. And I actually don't mind. AEW has the DraftKings logo sometimes on 4 different corners of the ring mat. I think that's cool. TNA started doing it as well. I think logos on the ring mat are not a big deal. That was a Vince McMahon thing that he absolutely hated. And truth be told, I think it's just dumb. At the end of the day, UFC and all of these other sporting companies get paid a shit ton of money for logos to be on the octagon or to be on the boxing ring. So the fact that WWE is just openly not taking money there, it would be ridiculous. And Nick Khan has been pretty open about it before that. Like, this is something that they're eventually going to do. We saw WWE put logos on the LED barricade and stuff like that. Obviously, they sponsor matches. I think it's cool. I think sponsoring matches and sponsoring the ring mat is a great idea. Logan Paul's logo for Prime will be on the ring mat starting at WrestleMania and beginning at every PLE. Interestingly enough, I wonder if WWE will start putting other logos on the ring mat or if it's just going to be one and done. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't think it's a bad thing whatsoever. Listen, guys, it's not impacting the storytelling and it's not impacting the match quality. And we know this because we're watching AEW and we're watching TNA, and it doesn't impact those companies. It's not going to start impacting WWE at this point. So with my true, humble, genuine opinion, go ahead and put as many logos as you want. Make as much money as you want. But at the same time, you better not be messing up the TV product that I'm watching. Because lately, this year, it's been really good. All right, and that brings us to our final topic, Okada. What was said to be the reason Okada turned down WWE? How did WWE lose out on Okada? Well, Justin Barrasso stated the following: speaking with sources close to AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, Okada feels he will be given the best opportunity to succeed in AEW. WWE was a real consideration for Okada, and he loved the idea of being a part of WrestleMania. But in AEW, Okada is not forced to relocate, and he can continue living in Japan if he chooses. It also means that he could partner with the Bucks and extend his rivalry with Kenny Omega. Look, I have no idea what the hell is actually being said here by Justin Barrasso, because there is some conflicting reports. I've also seen reports that suggest Okada is in fact moving to the United States to work with AEW full-time. I'm going to keep it very sweet, short, and simple. Okada in AEW makes a lot of sense. This is the reason that a lot of people need to understand. It's not that Triple H and WWE don't have enough money. It's not that they don't have the best quality show, or it's not that they don't have good storylines. It has nothing to do with that. Okada can work for AEW, a company that was partnered with New Japan Pro Wrestling, a company he used to work with. So he's been on AEW television before. He's seen what the backstage atmosphere is like. He has been able to go into AEW and familiarize himself with AEW. Obviously, he has history with Kenny and the Bucks. These are the EVPs of the company. And now he has history with Tony Khan because of that working relationship. WWE losing to free agents to AEW, losing those free agents to AEW is an amazing thing for the industry. Let me reiterate this. I don't care where you stand with your tribalism. WWE stars are going to go to AEW, and AEW stars are going to go to WWE. And it's the best thing that can happen in this industry. Two companies paying out significant money, right? Two companies not only paying significant money, but giving TV time. And in addition to that, giving you opportunities that maybe the other company wouldn't have given you. I think wrestling fans actually need to look at themselves in the mirror and ask themselves, why do they get so mad at this? And I know, just like always, somebody here is going to complain about something I said, but the reality is this: if you hate the idea of an industry thriving, then you, my friend, are the problem.